Here we are. Colors will probably need to be switched throughout this series, and we will do blue and red. So welcome, my friends, on YouTube and on Twitch to game number 1. This is a best of 7. This is the final set of the qualifier. Because this is the day after the other decider, I'm not actually going to say who won yesterday, and we're not going to do any spoilers on the stream, so I won't say it just yet, just for those that are here live, but Jordan and Fire played yesterday. The winner of that set moved on to play in the main event, and then we have Dogao and LaaaN here, best of 7. Dogao is in the blue, and then we have LaaaN in the red. Malians versus Incas, which is a really fascinating Civ matchup, and it's fascinating that we're seeing Malians chosen now, because in the event we see game number 4 in this set, and we will have to, Dogao has used up his Malians pick. I feel like Malians is one of the more common picks for that map. Starting with Dogao's map, Dogao has 3 wood lines very close to his TC. He has 2 stones, very wallable as far as I can see. His main gold's also wallable. There is a hill here. And then he has his second and his third gold forward, and maybe he won't be able to take that. And maybe he'll lose out on a pig. Now, if this was the main event and we saw an eagle running forward, we'd all be saying MBL. Okay, we'd all be saying MBL, and then we'd hopefully all be using the T90 Who emote. Who is this man? Well, it must not be MBL actually, because the LaaaN has gone the opposite direction. There's 2 pigs here for Dogao, and the LaaaN is looking for him. Now LaaaN sees the deer. What direction will he guess Dogao is in? Now he's going the wrong way, so I guess Dogao does have pig, and Dogao will bring in his first pig. Both of these bases are very similar, very compact, both 3 wood lines, both solid main golds, and the second and third golds could be problems for both, so good similarities here. I found that more often than not, now, like all maps, it doesn't matter what the map is. Actually, you know what? The fairest map in existence is Forest Nothing, because that is the one map that is always fair. But, you know, for the most part, Hidden Cup to Arabia is pretty solid. There are some instances where one player can have a more favorable map. But, oh my god, Dogao tried to lame, and Dogao lost his scout. That is sloppy stuff right there. And I don't know what that means.
Yes.
But they're having a little conversation about it. I'll need to get my translators in here. But, what was I talking about? Yeah, for the most part, when I was testing Hidden Cup to Arabia, what I wanted was a fair map. So if one player has a closed off base, I want the other player to have a somewhat closed off base as well. If one player has an open base, I want the other person to have the same. So one thing you'll notice is that the deer is always in a safe position, because otherwise what would happen is one player would have pushable deer and one player wouldn't have pushable deer. I'd say Hidden Cup Arabia is like a safer Arabia in comparison to previous tournaments. Oh, so he just called LaaaN gay. Well, great. Thank you for doing that, Dogao. Anyway. LaaaN agreed, so it's okay. LaaaN agreed, alright? Incas are known for their man-at-arms and their tower rush. That's what they're known for. So that's what I would expect here, and Malians have fantastic man-at-arms rush themselves. So I like the barracks placement from Dogao. This tells me he's probably thinking man-at-arms. Actually, he could be thinking Drush now. That barracks is a little early. Notice how LaaaN hasn't built his yet. Well, actually, LaaaN's is late, so... Yeah, this is a Drush time. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. It's not a Drush timing. Yeah, 5 on berries. Sending Vills to gold. Yeah, he'll go man-at-arms too. And remember, he doesn't have great scouting on LaaaN's base. He doesn't know what LaaaN will be doing. If he's expecting a forward, he won't have as much to stop it because he won't have his scout anymore. And LaaaN having his Eagle Scout is a huge, huge deal. He knows exactly where Dogao is. He knows exactly where Dogao can get resources. And in the fight, he should have an advantage, but... Now, he's clicked up rather late here. He's gone for 23 population. Normally it's 22 pop. That's fairly standard. That's what Dogao did. So Dogao might be able to push out across the map rather early. And he's doing the smart thing and walling off his base, because it's so easy to wall this off. I don't know if LaaaN... I don't know if it'd be wise for LaaaN to go forward if he sees how closed off the base is. One thing you have to be leery of, if you're Incas, is Malians have the high Pierce Armor Man-at-Arms, so going immediately into Archers versus Man-at-Arms is... First off, it's rather risky in general, but it's even more difficult against Malians. And I think we'll see the economic approach from Dogao here. I don't think he'll go for that early Archer range after the Man-at-Arms. I think instead he'll probably opt for farms, opt for the lumber camp upgrades. Because as far as I can see, his base is full wall already, right at 10 minutes. And here come the militia, and LaaaN has to know that the militia are no longer there. He knows they're running towards him because the barracks does not have a flag on anymore. Yeah, both players doing as they should, just walling the base. So very closed off base for game number 1. And it will be 4 Man-at-Arms for LaaaN as well. Oh, let's see here. This could be tricky. Surprise. Oh! Oh, God! Okay, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. This is still really, really bad for LaaaN. Remember, it would be tricky to clean up these Man-at-Arms. Like with any archers. But, you know, he has the walls. It's fine. This will now turn into, okay, who's being the most annoying with their Man-at-Arms? Now, Dogao, he didn't scout LaaaN's base, so he doesn't know exactly how walled it is. And this is funny. Watch, they're going to shoot that deer? No, never mind. So let's talk the strengths of each civ now. Malians, they have all of their buildings cost less wood. So that's an eco bonus right there. You're saving wood, so you'll have more farms, makes them very flexible. They don't have the best archers, but it's not too uncommon to see them go for archers in the follow-up to Man-at-Arms. But I think their bread and butter in Castle Age has got to be the knights and the camels. And then even in the Imperial Age, they get the Farimba Cav, so they get extra attack on their Cavalier. Now, Incas, that is the civilization of options. It's incredible what this civilization has. They have the champion line, which we've already seen. They have the Eagles as a follow-up to that, and here come the Eagles. They also have archers. They also have skirmishers. They also have siege ram, and then they have their unique tech, slingers. I don't think we'll see Dogao go heavy into infantry in this game, because Incas have a great option to counter that. And I don't know what's going on here. LaaaN should attack this palisade. Oh, got a text message. Sorry, friend. I don't care about you anymore. This palisade could go down. Nope. Wait. Don't try and repair it. The Man-at-Arms have a hill advantage. Oh, okay. Dogao solves that problem quickly. He's fortunate, man. He's fortunate. I think he needs to send his own Man-at-Arms back, possibly. Oh, no. He has his Man-at-Arms and his archers here. And LaaaN's going for stone walls. So a lot more aggressive than you might have expected. And now LaaaN's the one deciding to turn around to go back. And the guy already showing his hand with stone walls, even having to build a tower now. And that is another bonus for Incas, is that their stone buildings are cheaper. So I guess slightly better for Dogao now. And in fact, killing this barracks would be a huge deal. I think the tower is to force him away from that. But nice little bit of momentum from him. T90, hello, first time here from YouTube, love all your vids. Hey Benosaurus, welcome. How many other people are new here today? Must be a lot of you. Must be a lot of people new here today. It's interesting to me that Dogao made another Man-at-Arm. It's not the end of the world, but he's already not getting into the walls. Feels like a slight waste of resources, but... You know, as long as Dogao is able to keep some Man-at-Arms next to his archers, the Eagles cannot attack him. And I think that LaaaN is trying to go full Eagles. Especially now that he's used his stone for stone walls. I highly doubt that the guy is going for extra TCs in the next stage. I think he'll go all in with Eagles. Speaking of going in, Dogao is here. But the worst he could probably do... well... if he's sneaky enough, he could actually run through here. But I think it's better to try and bring land back. Sometimes your opponent's going to be walled, and the last thing you want is to lose all of your military. So just attacking the house here, just trying to pressure, trying to get in, means that land will come back. Now, it is bad if you lose your military, but it really depends on how that trade is. T90, I won my first 1v1. Wow, forgot how exhausting this game is. Dude, it can be very exhausting, yes. It's very calm and relaxing when you're watching. And you can really appreciate the strategy when you're watching, but it takes a lot of effort to play, for sure. It doesn't look like these guys would be moving very fast right now, but they're moving pretty quick, trust me. So every single eagle that is killed now is a bonus for Dogao. Let's see what this is such a favorable trade for him. That's huge. That's huge. He kills the man-at-arms, and now he will still remain a threat here. So LaaaN is building his second barracks. By the way, their castle time is pretty much identical there. That's not even a real second. That is a game time second. So they click up at the same moment. Eagle Warriors take a long time to mass. And, oh, LaaaN is also making a range. That's a bit surprising, but maybe... Yeah, I don't understand the archery range. Because if he wants to make a few slingers for the man-at-arms, it's just 4 of them. That tells me that he expects LaaaN to go longswords, possibly. Or Dogao, rather, sorry. All the pressure is at LaaaN's base. And man, when you have a base like this, you really can't allow someone to come in here. Look at all the farms that are being idled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 farms are not working that he had built. And Dogao is adding stables, so he is going to shift into the knights, and this is good for Dogao. Remember, Dogao also didn't build stone walls, so he has 200 stone. He could easily build a second and a third town center. Look at the resources the guy has. Yeah, he can make knights and he can make villas at the same time. For LaaaN, I don't want to say it has to be all in, but it has to be, he has to get a lot of momentum. Because the Malian eco is so flexible, the Malian eco is so good. And Dogao will have knights, and knights in Castle Age. They're mobile, so they can track down the eagles, they have a lot of HP. And watch, Dogao immediately second town center. So with nearly identical bases, we have one player with full map control and they can go into a huge economic boom. And we have the other player who, well, they're adding a second TC now, but you can tell they're going to need to rely on the market. LaaaN does not have the greatest economy set up right now. And Dogao is here. Dogao is close to using those crossbows to pick off a vill. One thing I didn't mention about Incas is that their villagers are affected by blacksmith upgrades. So if you do have to fall back defensively, or even if you have forward villagers, they will survive a few shots. And that's exactly what happened there. I wouldn't necessarily agree that it's close to GG levels, because Malians they normally have to make a transition away from knights here. Like, that's going to be the concern. If Dogao's able to get a big lead and just push from this position, which he has done there, he's killed a villager and he's being annoying, that's great. But if Dogao is just slightly ahead in economy, I feel like LaaaN could get to eagles and pikes, and this could be problematic for Dogao. But the vill count is definitely going to rise, and LaaaN, oh, he doesn't have access to his gold now. He needs to clear that up. Now this is good for him. He sees 2 knights running forward to reinforce, so he gets a few hits in there, but my god, this is not pretty for LaaaN at all. And there's the 3rd town center for Dogao. So if this continues, if this doesn't get cleaned up, it's problematic for LaaaN. He needs a big fight before Dogao gets more knights, and before Dogao gets more upgrades. I don't think he's confident enough to take the fight before that chainmail armor upgrade, though. Man, I love how Dogao is playing this. Just solid play. Just overall solid play. And this all stemmed from him getting into LaaaN's base. LaaaN needs to clear this up now. He needs to clear this up. And Dogao even shifting his crossbows a little bit. There's a weak villager. And now he sees the Eagles. So 120 HP unit for the Knight, 55 HP unit for the Eagles, and hill advantage for Dogao. That's still not a great fight. And you also have the Man-at-Arms in there. The Man-at-Arms are going to be helpful. Notice more and more barracks, more and more Eagles for LaaaN. And Dogao maintains his Vil lead, and it's getting a bit higher now. Just a bit higher. And the efficiency for Dogao is off the charts. He hasn't been attacked like LaaaN has. And, oh, Dogao's even getting longswordsmen. Well, better safe than sorry in this position, right? You have to know that if you lose control of military, that's your only weakness. You have to know that you're ahead in eco, so why not get longswordsmen? It's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. I don't know about the armor upgrade. If anything, maybe even think about getting the attack upgrade, because that attack upgrade would affect the longswords and it would affect the knights. I think LaaaN is going to run in here to fight this soon. And he will have to back away. He knows he needs a fight soon, but I don't think he can win this fight. And so now he's scratching his head. Like, geez, is there really anything I can do against this? He can't make slingers. It wouldn't make much sense to make slingers versus the longswordsman, because there's knights there and because there are crossbows. Is he deciding to counter? It's an interesting approach to just counterattack here. Dogao could spot this. Will Dogao realize? He should be looking at the minimap. I think he's just reacted to it. Wait. Yes, he's sending the knights back, and he'll leave some army there. If there's a hole in his walls, the game changes. And don't tell me there's a hole there between the house and the barracks. Don't think there is. And Dogao, I would house wall behind this man. Yeah, build as many walls until your knights get back. LaaaN has gone for probably the best decision, because I don't believe that he could have comfortably fought that. So changing up the point of attack is what he needed to do. The knights are here. Iron casting is on the way. Remember, this will affect the longswords, and it will affect the knights. As long as Dogao keeps the units out and gets his army here, he's fine. And he has almost a 20 villager lead now, and yeah, he is fine. And I think that this was the time for LaaaN. He needed to attack now. He needed a big cleanup now. And if he loses his army here, he might even consider calling the game, because he has to know he's behind an eco. And man, what a solid game for Dogao. What a solid game. I think it all stemmed from him getting in on this right-hand side, which was, in hindsight, a bit sloppy for LaaaN because the wall-off was so easy. But Dogao just played solid. So often, you'll find one player gets ahead in eco, and then the player who's behind floods military to take map control and have a chance to get back into the game. And that's what LaaaN was going for. LaaaN was hoping that he could mass the Eagles and get just enough to tilt things back into his favor so he could pressure Dogao. But Dogao was never in a vulnerable position there, it has to be said, and he wins game 1. So with that, we will move on to LaaaN's home map. He could choose from either home map he's picked. It's 34 kills for Dogao, 10 deaths. Look at the eco. Now, I mentioned it in Feudal Age. LaaaN built stone walls, which told me that he would be behind in economy because he couldn't add the town centers, and Dogao did not, and he was on 3 TCs almost immediately. And that's pretty much it. That's a pretty simple game 1. It will get more complex as the series goes on. And game 2 is next. So we have Eldorado and Rooster for the home maps. LaaaN has Japanese, which would be great on Rooster. He has Vikings would not be good on Rooster, actually. Now, he could choose Rooster or Eldorado, by the way. He doesn't have to do it in order, necessarily. We'll see one of those, and Dogao has some solid civs for both. He has Chinese for Eldorado, he has Mongols he could use for Rooster, Malay for Eldorado. He has some options. Alright, so Dogao told me, he said it's with a small d. So I'll change the scoreboard now so it has a small d, okay? Shocker's always there to help me out. See, some mods are like, T90 official, do you want me to go out of my way and fix and get this prepped ahead of time? The one time, sorry, I can't seem to speak right now. If I'm ever getting help from Shulker, it's normally Shulker telling me I'm doing something wrong. Dave says, small D. So no, I won't be in a condition to cast. Just kidding. Dave didn't say that. That was Ducks and Dave. I combined what they said. And I changed the text. I need to add the score. Sorry. Perfect. LaaaaaN has an extra A on the scoreboard. I don't believe you, and I'm not changing it. You're going to have to deal with it. Sorry. It's 5 A's. It should be 5 A's. Oh, no, it is 6. Oh, I thought you were trolling me. Wait, no, that's 5. That's 5. Right? I think it might have been 6. Sorry, I fixed it. T90 blind, I fixed it. Oh, man. Farland Mitch donated $7.77. Said, Smart Money says at least one person emerges as winner from this brutal matchup tonight. Buckle in and get ready for this wild, crazy ride. I'm expecting at least 50 villager deaths. Also be sure to get you some curly fries soon. They rock. Yes, we were talking about curly fries yesterday, man. I love me some curly fries. Okay, so this is Rooster. The biggest thing on Rooster is your deer location. It's kind of a risky home map because you want to get to feudal fast to get fire galleys out, and Dogao in this case his deer's behind the wood line, but he's immediately trying to push that in. So solid start for him. This was the home map for LaaaaaN. He lost game number 1, and he's looking for some revenge here with Italians. No, Japanese. Sorry, Japanese versus Italians. So I think Dogao chose this for his home map more than once in the early stages of the qualifiers, so it's certainly a map he's familiar with. And Italians is definitely a Civ that could beat Japanese. Both of these Civs are arguably the 2 best on this map. Other notable mentions would be, well, the other big notable mention would probably be Mongols. Someone did ask if someone asked why Vikings wouldn't be good on this. Vikings are not very good in 1v1s on water maps because they lack fire galleys. And so while they're attempting to mass galleys, they would get overrun. Vikings are more of a team game water Civ right now. It depends, of course. You could always dock the back. You wouldn't want to do that on this map, but you could always dock the back to keep your docks safe. But normally Vikings get overrun by Civs with fire galleys. So we've mainly looked at Dogao's base, but it has to be said, his play looks very clean. The deer have been pushed in despite the location. His build order looks perfect. Very, very clean start for him. And then for LaaaaaN has also been pushing the deer, but I think he only has pushed in 1. You do get 5 on this map. 5 deer as opposed to 4 on some of the other Rooster maps. Whoa! They're all going. So this is probably not restart territory for either player. I think this will be played out because they have the food. And we will see the docks go up. And guys, if you haven't seen Rooster before, we talked about the water element. There also is that small land element where you can run along here with your scout or sneak villager or something. So it's always something to look for, but more often than not, the early water engagements, very important. So the cool thing about having this map and some of the other maps in the Hidden Cup 2 main event is when we're trying to guess who is who, we could think about their styles of play. And a lot of players choose water maps for their home maps. Viper and Leary choose water maps for their home maps a lot. So I think if we see certain maps picked, we might have an idea of who might be playing. Hard to say with 16 pro players, but it can at least give us some thoughts and insights. Certainly Dave and I are going to have a ball casting it. Trying to guess who is who. And there will be a Hidden Cup 2 talk show the weekends before the main event. Dave and I will talk all about the player styles. What is this villager doing? All about the player styles and what we expect. This villager seems fine. I was a bit worried for a second that Bill was going to die. So keep an eye on the scouts. LaaaaaN will try and scout where Dogao has docked. And also, once the additional docks are being placed, the scouts in Feudal Age would be able to snipe villagers. Dogao is just scouting the rest of his base right now. Did they fight, guys? They must have fought, and I missed it, because Dogao has lower HP on his scout here. It's the only explanation, unless he attacked a wolf by accident. I don't think the wolf does that much damage. Feudal Age time, important. Dogao clicks up first, LaaaN will be right after him. And the battles begin. Japanese have insane fishing ship armor. It's very difficult to kill Japanese fishing ships. The Japanese have a lot of flexibility because of their cheap lumber camps and mining camps. And they'll leave the food to rot. They don't need food anymore. The food will be coming in with the fishing ships. It's 15 food a fishing ship, and you need 50 food for villagers. So if you have 4 fishing ships, it's usually more than enough. And all of their build order is set for 2 or 3 docks and fire galleys and demos, and then there could be a transition later on. So this map is very build order oriented. There's not a lot of factors. You don't have to worry about your gold location. You don't have to worry about someone tower rushing you. It's mainly who can execute at the highest level, doing the exact same thing, which is why some of those players I mentioned earlier will probably pick Rooster during the main stage. 2 docks for LaaaN. And at least in my opinion, and Dave, I really like Dave's insight on this. I can't wait to have Dave in the casting booth as a caster for Hidden Cup 2. But I personally believe that starting off passively is the way to go here. Because if you send your fire ships out to try and snipe fish, it's hard to kill fish anyway. I think it's better to just protect yourself and kind of wait for your opponent to run in towards you. At 3 docks for Dogao now. Serious question, isn't it worth it to fish boom at the back? No, it's really not, because there's no deep fish back here. There might be one, whereas there's tons of fish in the center, and it's also not just about the fish, it's also about the amount of map that you will control. Last thing you want is for your opponent to completely take control of the center. You can never go land because they have ships there. And Dogao's going for the approach I said I didn't like the most. And see, this is what I'm talking about. You notice how he ran forward, didn't even come close to killing a fishing ship, and LaaaN was waiting for him. LaaaN was expecting that. But Dogao, he was able to get away there. Good stuff from him. Good recognition that he needed to run. Because if he looked away, he could have lost both of his ships there. Now, the cool thing about this map is you can get back on water. So it's not like your normal islands game. Or your normal water map. Oh! Oh! Go for the fish! Go for the fish! Go for the fish! Oh! Can he get 2? Uh-oh. Indecisive. Okay, so that demo was an interesting one. Normally, for a demo to be worth it, you have to connect with 2 ships. He connected with a fire ship and a fishing ship. So he took one down to 46 out of 100 HP, and he killed the fishing ship. So I think that's worth it. Now, Dogao has his own demo in here. Oh! Alright, that was a better demo for LaaaN, if you ask me. Look how weak these ships are. So tough to call, though. The fights can change so quickly. No, a demo cannot kill Japanese fishing ships in one hit. It's insane. But I thought for a moment there, because the 3 fishing ships were next to each other, that would have been the best situation to go after the fish. So someone is going to win water here. Most likely. Maybe they'll be neck and neck till Castle Age, but normally someone gets a big explosion and takes the lead. When that happens, the player who loses water needs to make a decision. They either boom in Castle Age with TCs, or they try and sneak on lands. Oh! Oh! Okay, so that's great micro from Dogao. That's great micro because he could have lost so much more to the demos, but still, he finds himself down a fishing ship. And oh, yeah, that was good micro from LaaaN. So 5 kills, 1 death for him. He could also kill the scout here. Remember, he has more HP. So far, LaaaN is performing well on the map that he chose. All right, 1 for 1 with the demo there. Makes the total KD 6-2. But it's 4 fishing ships versus 1. Dogao is building a blacksmith. Interesting, he's building a blacksmith, actually. Why is he building a... Normally you see players market first. And the reason for that is you send a lot of villagers to gold and you begin to buy food. So that's fascinating to me. Maybe he'll build the market after. If you build the blacksmith early, that tells me he might want to make regular galleys and get fletching. But, yeah, we'll see. I like the repairs. I remember when this new balance came out and I saw people repairing fires and I thought it was a waste of villager time. I think it's totally worth it. The land pushing out and... Oh my god! Oh, that demo was so good! He didn't lose a fire galley and he killed 2 demos from Dogao. So 1 for 2. Demos are like the mangonels on water. This is where Dogao could lose everything. He needs a few demos quickly to save the day for him. Yeah, he loses his last fishing ship. Well, nah. The defender's advantage is so huge when demos are out. Alright. Just passing without demo for land. So, yeah, land. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, he's still been fishing more, so he should have that slight eco lead. I thought he was going to overrun there. Oh, Dogao, go for the fish. Go for the fish. Or you could get the Navy with 2 huge shots and go in with the rest of your fire galleys. I think if it wasn't Japanese fish, he goes for the fish. I kind of forgot that for a moment. Lot of booms. Market for Dogao. Keep in mind the uptime is cheaper. Or not the time. Time can't be cheaper. But the up cost is cheaper. So I think Dogao could possibly click to Castle Age slightly faster. These fishing ships are somehow still alive. Incredible. Man, LaaaaaN has looked really freaking good this game. He's up to Castle Age before the Italian player, when he had to spend more. He has 17 kills and 10 deaths. He's just killed the scout for Dogao, which now means that Dogao has to be scared of a possible landing of some kind. Dogao is going to click up soon, but he's behind. Alright. So Dogao's on his way up. I think that... Oh wow, did Dogao also sold his stone to go up? Did LaaaaaN do that? Oh, LaaaaaN did the same, okay. That is not that uncommon on this map. When getting Castle Age fast is key to sell your stone. You start with 200 stone. A lot of players on other maps save that for town centers, but here you sell it, get gold, buy a little bit of resources, and go up. It's very risky. It's very risky to ever transition away from fires on this map because they're so close. On maps where they're further away, it makes a bit more sense. But if you're trying that transition, you could easily be overrun with fires. So it's definitely better for now to stay with fire galleys. What they'll do is they'll research war galley in the next stage, which will make their fire galleys fire ships and their demolition rafts demolition ships. Oh, please get a 1 for 3. Oh. I thought those demos were all going to explode. Yeah, another bonus that Dogao has as Italians is that his dock techs are cheaper. But LaaaaaN doesn't seem to care, man. It doesn't bother him. He's winning. Big time. He gets War Galley first, which means he should push in, and Dogao will have to run. Do you remember that time where I said that one player would win water in Feudal? This has been the closest Rooster game of the qualifiers, believe it or not. Even though LaaaaaN has a lead, it's been the closest because Dogao still has a chance on water. And he has that defender's advantage, so he could always surprise LaaaaaN with a few demos. Now here is where it might make sense in LaaaAN's position to make some regular galleys, because you can snipe demos, and you already have the lead. I love LaaaAN's positioning on the right. He knows Dogao is out there. He knows Dogao is thinking of coming in once his upgrades are completed, and they are now. still making flyers and still making demos. Look, every single dock is producing for LaaaN. When I said LaaaN was in excellent form before the series, I was not kidding. Extremely clean, man. This is near perfect. Every time he gets the resources, he's using it. And oh, here comes the fight. It's so hard to call these because the demos can swing things so much. Dogao needs a huge swing here. Oh my god, did he patrol those demos? Because that was not a good use of demos at all. He used 4 demos on 2 ships when there was a large clump of fire galleys he could have connected with. Well, that could be the end for the game. That could be the end for the water at the very least. Now it's 20 military versus 5. That was the last thing Dogao wanted. Dogao needed bigger, yeah, he needed bigger engagements. And the GG's called. I think if Dogao had not sold his stone, then he might add TCs here and try and boom it out. But because he doesn't have the stone for TCs, he was all in on water, and he lost. He calls the GG. And ladies and gents, in this best of 7 qualifier, it's 1-1. LaaaN gets the win on his home map. Just what we wanted to see. 32 kills for LaaaN, 18 deaths. It was cleaner all around for him, man. He was slightly later to feudal age, but his execution with the micro was good. His execution with the economy was fantastic. That's not something we're able to look at there. We're mainly looking at the fights, but what the players are doing with their eco is arguably more important. And he was in castle age faster than the player who had the cheaper castle age. That's impressive. He had more ships than the player who had discount on those ships. More food, more wood, more stone, and more gold collected for LaaaN, and we'll move on to game 3, and now we go on to Dogao's home map. Dogao used Rooster as his home map in round 1 and 2. So it's not as if Dogao is a slouch on water maps, man. He knows that map very, very well. LaaaN just outplayed him. So Dogao's home maps are Cross and Scandinavia. We'll see which one they choose to play. Dogao has Mongols, he has Chinese, he has Malay, he has Byzantines and Indians. I think he'll use Indians here because he's used Indians in the past on this map, and it's a good pick. LaaaN has Slavs, Huns, Franks, Celts, and Vikings, and I think that he will go for Huns. Huns and Indians are 2 very good cross civilizations. How many other people are hyped now? Sometimes when I'm casting a best of 7 and one player goes up 2-0, I start thinking, oh no. Oh no. This isn't good, but 1-1? That's exactly what I wanted to see, man. WTF was that YouTube video with Arena and Rubenstock. It was an amazing video. In fact, I don't think a lot of people here have seen it yet because I uploaded it right before I went online. But you could put that on your list to get to afterwards. Bonnie Mercury donated $7. He said, enjoying all of the qualifying games. Thanks for hosting a great series thus far, T90. You're welcome, Bonnie. This is nothing, guys. If you're enjoying this, if you're even half enjoying it, this is nothing compared to the main event. And I think a lot of people were not here for the first Hidden Cup because the community has exploded in the last... I don't remember the month it was. I think it was 7 months ago, 8 months ago, the first one. Oh my god! That is so loud for me! Did that break your ears? I had to mute it for you. That's louder than I've ever experienced. Holy shit! Can you hear it through my mic? I mean, not my mic, my headphones. That's through my headphones. That's on my head. You just heard it through the things that are connected to my ears. Okay. So, ironically, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you guys. That was louder than it should be. That is my silent alerts. And the silent alerts, they, for some reason, are not silent with a $100 donation. If you donate 101, it's silent. But 100 on the dot, it's not. The rest of the alerts are all silent. And I haven't gotten around to fixing that yet because I don't use the silent alerts often. So, you know what? There is a way I could fix it, I think. I think if I close out a program, the alerts will still show up and you might not hear the audio. I normally am okay with that being loud, but that was too loud. Okay, that was too loud. But thank you, Melty. He said, who let the Dogals out? Woo, 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 woo. Don't blame Melty, man. It's on me, okay? That's my fault. I'm sorry, chat. I'm really, really sorry. Seriously, and YouTube is gonna... They're like, wow, I'll never go to Twitch now. Seriously, that will be addressed, I promise, okay? Just for transparency, if you're thinking of splashing $100 to do that to me again, I don't think it should work now. So, that was a reminder from LT. I would never ask anyone to be that generous. Ooh. This is Nadminry. This is Nadminry. That gold is bad. Hold on. In fact, I might be getting a message about it. That gold is bugged. So we'll just come back. We'll get to recover from the baby shark. Yeah, okay. So they'll come back. T90, how surprised were you at the win of Jordan? Don't spoil, Ricksta! I know it wasn't intentional, but some people haven't seen it yet, okay? It was just yesterday. I almost said it. So we'll have to wait a few moments. It will be cross, and I think it was Indians and Huns. Did I show you guys the game? I think I was in game. I think it was Indians and Huns. So occasionally if a resource is bugged, it's an adminry, which means that they're not using their restarts. I'm just calling it so we get a new map gen because it's unfair. My donation was ignored because of the $100 donation. Oh, he said, oh, Battle Tutorial donated $5 at the exact same time. He said, have you heard about the new underwater school? The staff are great, but the students' grades seem to be under C's. Get it? Not an A, not a B, but a C. And it's under C's. Because it's underwater. Heh. Get it? Alright, a few people are booing you. Some people are laughing. Mixed. The crowd's rough today, okay? Mixed response. Trust me, I know. The crowd can be real rough. They throw tomatoes often. I think explaining the jokes makes it way cringier, doesn't it? That is definitely my intention. Nivida says, this time I was scared so hard by that alert. So Nivida, we actually got Nivida this time. Perfect. Thank you, Increased Volume, for coming back. 7 months in a row. Thank you, Curry, Nawaro, and Agile Dinosaur at 19 months. I also miss Smarthy. Smarthy's been here for 30 months. Rocket Cracker, Purple Fairy Boy, Scan Original, Ekon U, Hides, Free Real Estate. Thank you, everyone. So, just to explain this, because Dogao, this is Dogao's home map. If Dogao loses this, then we would see Dogao's home map again. So it doesn't flip-flop now. So you can see the same... Wait, no, it wouldn't be Dogao's home map. It would be Cup anyway. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. But in the event that Game 1 and 2 would have been won by the same person, Game 2 and 3 would have been the same person's home map. Yeah, Game 4 is going to be Cup regardless. Don't listen to what I said earlier. Tall Casual Gamer, if we go over 2,000 viewers today, I'll do the thing where I ask the chat. I always like to do it that way, actually. It's very entertaining. Oh, yeah, I actually saw Byzantines and Celts. I don't know why I said Huns and Indians. Let me make sure the map is fine. Yeah, the map is fine. Perfect. Game number 3 then, guys, between Dogao and LaaaaaN and the best of 7. Winner of this best of 7 will play in the Hidden Cup main event. You won't know who they are. They'll be playing with a hidden identity. Playing for over $10,000. LaaaaaN is in the red. He's playing as the Celts. And then in the blue, we have Byzantines for Dogao. Cross is one of my favorite maps in Age of Empires in general, much less this event. There's ponds in the north, there's ponds in the south, the east, and the west. And as always, if there's deep fish, you want to take advantage of it. There's even some salmon in here. How can I not like this map? Don't need the Dorado. I want the salmon. Found one. Right there. We got some salmon. So go to the north, LaaaaaN. Go to the north. So the focus is not only in the center of the map, because there's a lot of land here and it's very open, but the focus is also on the ponds. So sometimes players will adopt styles where they fight for the ponds more and they wall their base and land. And sometimes players will go for more mobility on land and then go for less ponds. There's styles that could be adopted. Some civs like Huns, for example, they're very versatile, very mobile. So you tend to see them go for the land approach. And trust me, when I say land, I'm definitely thinking about making the land joke. But it's an unavoidable pun here, so it has to be made. I'm sorry. These civs, though, Celts and Byzantines, they're slower civs. If you saw Jordan yesterday versus Fire, you know exactly what Fire did with Byzantines. So I think that we might see Celts and Biz adopt a similar style and go for the pond approach. And if that is the case, that's going to be so important. Your scout here, so important to potentially snipe dock villagers and to know exactly where your opponent has docked. Now, oh, LaaaaaN could go for a lame. This is be before 4 minutes. Dogao sees the pig. He starts bringing in the pig and he bails and off. Tricked ya. He just gets the closest one. Man, I wish I could be that lucky. How does he have both pigs here? That's ridiculous. He just ends up getting the next one. No problem. This is fine. Okay, and LaaaaaN is now seeing a villager run this direction. He knows there has to be a pond here. But it's really smart from LaaaaaN to not attack the Vill, because had he attacked the Vill, he would have lost a little bit of HP, and you know it had to be tempting. But he expected Dogao to be around here, and instead they're 2 full HP scouts, and LaaaaaN just backs away. That was really smart thinking. Dogao wanted him to attack there, because Dogao would have got a hit or 2 in with his Vill. I guess Dogao already had Loom, but anyway, a hit or 2 with the Vill, and then the scout would have finished it off. So there's the dock. Here's the dock. LaaaaaN was a bit closer to the water, which helps him. And I don't think we will see any lames. Guys, what have you thought of the series so far? It has been... I think clean is the word I'll continue to reference with these two. I haven't seen many mistakes. When Dogao won game number 1, it was because he outplayed LaaaaaN. When LaaaaaN won game number 2, it was because he outplayed Dogao. You don't see scouts running into TCs. You just are not seeing mistakes, you know. It's been very solid, man. There's nothing flashy about it. It's just near perfection from both of them. And slight better execution. Yeah, I saw the wolves as well. They are in the center, though. Cross is probably one of those maps that you should remove wolves from. This is a T90 event after all, so we need our T90 woos. Now this wall off is an interesting talking point. Dogao's going for a forward wall off, which means that LaaaaaN cannot sneak a villager to this pond. If he walls here and he walls here, this southern pond is completely secured. And LaaaaaN has gone for the closer walls. Dogao could easily sneak a dock up here to kill the fish. And Dogao, he doesn't see where it's walled, but he could probably assume it's not walled in the front here. LaaaaaN is going for a faster feudal. I'm really confused. What is his strategy here? Dogao is walling up, and I think he wants a fast castle off of this. Or at least a delayed feudal. Is LaaaaaN going forward? I think he's going forward. This is so uncommon for this map. He sees where Dogao's getting wood. He has not scouted this villager walling up. Where's he going? Okay, he runs into the wolf. Thank God he didn't go this way, actually. He's just... This is different. Okay, I don't know if it's bad yet. This is very different. I think it's so different that Dogao's not expecting it. Dogao is just scouting where he can wall, and that's it. These vills could tower the wood, but there's more wood for Dogao. You know, he can relocate. Fascinating. Well, at the moment, it is 5 fishing ships for both. Dogao has more villagers because he was in Dark Age creating villagers. Now his TC will be idle as he's on his way to feudal. Dogao probably knows his pond in the south is secured, so he doesn't expect to land it, go for a fast feudal and fire galleys there. And now he knows there's a tower here. And I guess LaaaN will try and break in and build more towers. And I was even making a fire galley, just playing safe, make sure Dogao hasn't snuck here. It's a smart move, but I don't know how I feel about this play at the moment. Like, all of a sudden, it's not looking so clean for LaaaN. He is housed, so he's getting the wheelbarrow upgrade early. He can't get into Dogao's base. Dogao has walled this up. But I do think that Dogao's fast castle is going to be ruined a bit. But I think if he docks this side as well, he'll have 2 pawns. Oh, you know, saying that, LaaaN is going to dock out here. Alright. Do I have any of the usual pros that watch my stream listening and lurking right now? Not to call you out, whoever you are, but if you're out there, I have a question. Because I want to make sure I'm right on this. This is so... Guys, stop saying yes. You guys are not pros. I'm talking about MBL and Hera and Fire. I'm talking about those players. I'm talking about Doubt. Stop acting. Stop it. Okay, so anyway, I don't know who's out there, but this is the first time I've ever seen Celts versus Byzantines on cross, and I want to know if my logic on this is correct. I think that the danger when playing against Byzantines is that they'll go for a fast imp. And with that in mind, maybe the best approach when playing versus Byzantines is to pressure like this. Because otherwise, if you try and play Byzantines game, Byzantines will be an imp faster and pushing you. Now, that was huge. Dogao just sniped that vill. LaaaN was trying to sneak a dock there. That could have made such a big difference in the game. He still could get a dock up, honestly. He has 3 vills. Why not go for it? Fast imp arbs? Well, now he can't fast imp. That's my point. So I think that's it. I think that's the logic from LaaaN. It actually makes a lot of sense now that you think about it. He slows down the fast castle time from Dogao. He actually has 1 more fishing ship. And he's definitely going to dock here. And, oh! You done goofed, villager? I thought he was going to trap the villain there. Oh no, don't let this happen. Oh, wow, this is interesting. LaaaN, notice it. LaaaN, notice it. You have to get the dock up. Notice it. 90%. Oh, what a quick wall. Did you see that, man? He gets the dock up. The villager will run away. Dogao sent 3 villagers there. That quick wall was insane. It was like they were playing with 0 ping there. So, Dogao's making a fire galley. But this is still so annoying. Now he has to invest resources into defending 2 fish. Had the dock not gone up, it would have been a very different story. Market, blacksmith for Dogao. He will cook up to Castle Age, and LaaaN's not too far behind him. And LaaaN is just stonewalling behind. I like this. I like this a lot, man. I really like this, and I think the castle times will be neck and neck. LaaaN will... Oh, he has no blacksmith yet. Forward market. He's obviously... Pro strategies. He's obviously looking to trade with Dogao's market. Because that's what you do. Yeah, he needs his blacksmith, and then he'll be able to click up to the next stage. So what will Dogao do? He could still go for that 1 TC Imperial. He does not have any more stone coming in, which tells me he does not want to build a 2nd TC. If he buys some stone, then maybe he wants a 2nd TC. LaaaN is going to make a demo raft with the forward dock. So instead of 2.5 men, this is like 2.5 pawns right now for LaaaN. And just like 2.5 men was, it's kind of crappy. it's not a great situation because it's half a pond is not going to be held. So, sorry if I just lost my 2.5 men fans, but this show is kind of overrated, let's be honest. So I think he wants to demo the fish, because there's no reason to demo the fire galleys. His dock's gonna go down. Dogao's sneaking. He's sneaking to the north. Did the demos just die? Oh, wait. He sent one demo out. I would go for the fish. Go for the fish. He's probably not looking. Yeah, I think the unit just... Well? Sorry if I'm a bit unsure about this. Oh, there's another dock here. He's committing to this, guys. He's committing to this, and he does not have a defensive fire here. So Dogao could surprise land in the north. Dogao's going to kill this dock and feel like... Hold on. He repairs the fire galley now. Yeah, Dogao will probably finish off this. Oh my god, they're both gonna repair! They're both gonna repair! This is so sick! Look, and they're both noticing! This is so sick! Everything that's happening here is so good from both of them. I assumed this dock would go down. LaaaaaN is keeping it up, it's still producing. He does lose his villager. But now he has fire ship versus fire galleys. What a game this is, man. And it is more TCs for Dogao, by the way. In fact, he's on 3 right now, and he's producing out of them. So Dogao has a lead when it comes to vills, and Dogao will dock in the, or has docked in the north now. Still not sure if he's going to hold this pond, though. Still not sure about that. LaaaaaN will have the numbers lead. And now LaaaaaN notices that this pond is being hit. Man, the attention to detail needed. Guys, we're not even looking at their main ecos. They're producing, they should be, producing out of their town centers. Now, Dogao has the lead. He has the lead with villagers. He even has a slight lead with fishing ships. But everything that's going on here is so high level. Very impressive. And Dogao has definitely he's definitely got to be happy with the situation now, because I think he'll win the northern pond or come... Yeah, he's close to winning the northern pond, and he's at least holding this pond in the east. And he also has a head start with the land eco. But Celts have better eco than Byzantines? Is this a demo for land? Oh, it is! Oh, that was a sick demo! That was really good demo. Still not enough, but... was not bad. Yeah, just remember that Celts chop wood faster, so if you have 10 less vills, it's not as bad as if it was a Byzantines war. What time is it in T90 space? It's party time, man. It's party time. Best of 7. Dogao and LaaaaaN, very close. It's also about 5:30. I don't know what time it is. 6 p.m. for me? I'm not looking at the clock right now. Dogao looking good. And I think he'll build a castle soon. And if he's going to build one, should probably build it beyond the market. Build it where you can get a tower down. So if he feels like he can batter this down with vills, maybe build a castle here, believe it or not. He has 14 fish versus 9. 67 vills versus 54. Again, near perfect from him. Every town center that he has is producing villagers. I've been really impressed with the level of play. Really, really impressed with the level of play. If we're talking late game compositions, though, Celts can beat Byzantines. So it's good for Dogao that he has a head start here. He has a pretty big head start, because now the fishing ship lead is going to grow 3 ponds to 1. Well, still to be seen, but I don't see LaaaaaN killing all of these fish if Dogao's paying attention to it, and he will. I think that LaaaaaN needs the castles. Yep, there's the first one, and he needs to keep the castles up throughout Imp. World Raiders and Siege is probably the play here. For Byzantines, they will Well, they have options, right? They have the cheap trash, which doesn't really help against Celt infantry, but they have hand cannons. They could go cataphracts. I doubt it, but I would be hyped to see it. Oh, and by the way, Dogao got gill nets, if you didn't see that. Gill nets makes the fish more efficient. Really shows you how good you need to be. Because the players were so close, man. There were so many small things they were both doing. And yet, after all of that, Dogao has a lead. Dogao will build his castle here. I like the placement because it protects the gold and the stone. And still needs to get the center of the map. He has a gold out here. There's also another neutral there. He sees both of them. So perhaps a castle here would be solid. He has more than enough food. It wouldn't surprise me to use some of that now. Yeah, he's using that for eco upgrades. And he's getting scale barding. Will he go cataphract? Might be one of the rare moments where we see elite cataphracts, guys. Because I don't see why else he would get scale barding. He's not going to go knights. And he's also building outposts with T90 Babe here. She's seeing what's going on. The reason cataphracts are not seen often in 1v1s is because they're too costly to continue to make. So you could make 40 elite cataphracts, but normally then you're out of resources. And you won't be able to make more of them. He's making them here, and it makes a bit more sense, I think, because he has the gold secured, kind of. Oh, did a village just die to a wolf? I heard something die. Something died. But anyway, so you have the fish here. You also have a bit of a head start, so maybe you can get away with it. Oh, she's underneath the wolf. I see. T90, woo! Woo, woo, woo. I didn't see it. I wasn't looking underneath the wolf, okay? I thought it was a little carpet that he launches himself from. Because that happens. Game has been paused now, but you'll notice that LaaaaaN is going to be in the Imperial Age faster. And he'll get a relic, and if he scouts this, he'll be able to have 2 relics at least. So these 2 hills here are big. In late game, securing hills is a huge deal. Notice how there's a castle here and here, right next to one another. Then there's not a lot of elevation for Dogao on this side, but securing those golds is going to be important. Yeah. And I think LaaaaaN will probably... Well, I guess it depends on how well he does in this fight, but ideally he'd have a castle on this hill. But anyway, maybe they had to let their dog out. Maybe they needed some water, I'm not sure. But the dog's back inside, and LaaaaaN finds out that Dogao has a castle here. Now, Dogao does not know that there's a castle here. He does know that there's a castle somewhere because he just saw World Raiders. But that little bit of scouting intel is important. And he also saw the castle had flags, so he might be thinking, is he going cataphracts? Alright, and LaaaaaN will build a castle here instead of on the hill which is further forward. Now, how do you beat cataphracts with World Raiders? Well, you can't do it. Elite cataphract versus World Raider, the only difference is that World Raiders are easier to mass because they produce faster.
Yes.
And then it's not as expensive. But normally, if Dogao is going to have the res to continue making cataphracts, what you would want is to go for halbs as well. And cataphracts can kill halbs too. So you just need to get halbs as something to attack with. And enough of them are fine versus cataphracts. But my point is pretty obvious. Notice how he's just now getting chain barding. When he hits Imp, Dogao will not have the resources for plate barding and elite cataphract. It will still be regular cataphracts. And LaaaaaN's actually going for Onager, which doesn't counter anything Dogao has right now. Oh, and you see this gold? I think Dogao wanted to castle out here. That monk is just passing, guys. And oh, LaaaaaN sees it! He says, I'm taking one with me. I need it. I need a husband for my daughter. Come with me. And he's like, your daughter's ugly. I'm getting out of here. I'm building an outpost instead. Alright, so outposts, important. I don't know if they'll live happily ever after, but they're over there. And LaaaN has a head start with the trebuchets because of that little bit of scouting earlier. And now because you could see around the treb when it's firing at you, Dogao is aware there's a trebuchet there. And he's getting elite cataphract, and he's getting plate barding, so he does have the resources, but he doesn't have a lot left in the bank. And you need castles to produce cataphracts. This is a risky situation for Dogao. But it also could be risky for LaaaN, because he could lose every single trebuchet and every single onager to the cataphracts. Did LaaaN not expect this or what? Now this trebuchet could be walled in. Oh! He was hoping for onager shots, maybe? That's just going to be the best thing he could get right now. He loses 2 out of the 3 trebs. The onager shots were decent. But the cataphracts will destroy everything that's here. The onagers will die. The villagers are going to die. This treb should die. Yeah, it will. Wait. Yeah, it will die. And Dogao will keep his castle up. Now, over here, town center on the gold for LaaaN with the villager he converted and the daughter I mentioned. So, something to pay attention to. I just don't think that LaaaN expected cataphract. Or if he did expect cataphract, he went for the wrong move. He's just now getting pikemen. He's just now getting his infantry upgrades. I don't think he expected it. I think he expected some trash and rams, maybe. Because that's the other thing you would do, is go halb and ram with Biz. Those cataphracts worked out for Dogao. And he's... Oh, he even stopped the TC out here on the right-hand side. What a play. He'll be killing the towers. He'll be getting this gold. He has food. He has gold to spare. Now it gets tough for LaaaN. He's lost all momentum. He didn't really have any momentum, LaaaN. He had a slightly faster imp, but that was it. Yeah, the woads are dead. Woads are dead. There's no woads around. It has to be halbs, and cataphracts, they trade favorably versus halbs. They trade very favorably. Oh, an extra stone for Dogao out here. Nice. Wow, she's got some balls. Okay. I don't think she knew that the TC was being attacked, and she tried to finish that. That's not gonna happen, sorry. So with some things in Age of Empires 2, the best way to kill them is to stop someone from getting to them. I know it sounds dumb, and people get really upset with me when they say, T90, how do you stop Goths from beating Britons, you know? But normally, the answer in some situations is you have to win earlier. You have to gain some advantages earlier. And Dogao was the one who gained the advantage early, so we could get to Cataphract, and now LaaaN has to somehow come back. He does have 2 relics. He could get the 3rd if he scouts it, which will probably be by accident, because I doubt he's looking for it. And he is keeping this castle up for now, but I say for now because Dogao has bombard cannons, and he has trebs, and he has Byzantine castles. So his castles are so hard to kill. 7,000 HP. Ooh! Okay, 1 treb down and 1 bombard cannon down. Oh! Did you see that? That was so close. But the benefit of having the bombard cannon is you can micro it. You can? It did not happen there. That's good for LaaaN. Oh, he's even building a gate here? Okay. Man, he's being stubborn, man. Okay, another bombard cannon. Don't tell me this is going to happen again. This choke point has saved LaaaN. Otherwise, without this choke point, I think that he would have lost the castle ages ago. The castle's gonna die, surely. We have a halberd over here. Dogao noticed the halbs coming in and house walled it off as he's building a castle. We have the unique tech for LaaaN Siege, Furor Celtica. More HP now on the Scorpions and on the Onagers. They're still not even heavy Scorpion. Just give up on the castle, man. Maybe he feels like without the castle, he can't hold this. Repair after repair after repair. Logistica was completed, so now the Cataphracts... Oh my god! Now the Cataphracts have a little bit of trample damage? Say goodbye, LaaaaaN. Say goodbye. Those Cataphracts are insanely strong. Dogao can take the gold to make more Cataphracts. LaaaaaN is desperately trying to recover with a quick gate, and it's impressive that he's done that. But now he'll probably lose this castle and all of his barracks. I think Dogao is going to take the win on his home map. He's secured on the right-hand side. He has the gold. I guess the only category he's losing in right now would be, well, besides the deaths, would be the relics. And he could snag this one, no problem. And relics don't pay off that much at this stage of the game. Not when there's so much gold. The trample damage hits adjacent units. So I can actually show you on the HP here. Just try, it's kind of hard to see, but watch when a Cataphract attacks one unit. The adjacent units will also be taking damage. Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed it there, but it did happen. The Dogao's lost some trebuchets. Remember, these things are expensive. Whereas halberdiers are not. Yeah, I'll try and show you again if you look at Red's HP. Yeah, see the trample damage there? Anyway, the GG's called. One thing's for sure, if LaaaaaN would have won in Castle Age, if he would have won this pond, if he would have not been snuck upon in the north, I don't think Dogao can ever go Cataphracts in this matchup. But Dogao could get to Cataphracts because he won in the north. That was a very sneaky play, and he was able to hold in the east. And then he, not only did he win on water there, but he also had the Vil lead. So he was just better than LaaaaaN when it comes to the eco. But my goodness, this series is close. The KD does not tell the whole story here. There's so many small things that led up to this. This is a close series, man. So we had Dogao win game number 1, Arabia. Then we went to LAAAN's home map. LaaaaaN got the win on his home map. Then we went to Dogao's home map, which was this game. And Dogao gets the win. And game number 4 will be Cup. We will see more home maps in this set, but game number 4 will be Cup. And I'm so sorry, I didn't bring up the achievements. I can tell you, though, Dogao had 19,000 gold. He had 27,000 food. And he had 3,300 stone. That's a lot of resources. Okay, so I didn't see the achievements because I closed it out. But I acted like that's what he had, and no one complained. So, glad to see I'm believable. I have no clue. I didn't see it. I could bring it up on this little link here, though. Let's see how close I was. Okay, so it was 4,200 stone for Dogao. He had 26,000 food. I was close, and he had 15,000 gold. So he didn't have quite as much, but he had 6,000 more gold than LAaaAN. He had 6,000 more food than LAaaAN, and he had 1,000 more stone. So sorry to lie to you there, but it's not a lie if I confess, right? That's what I tried to tell the judge. It's not theft if I bring it back afterwards. The judge wasn't having it, but it's alright. I made it here. We're fine. Dogao's up 2-1. And let's talk about civs. LAaaAN has Slavs. He has Huns. He has Franks, and he has Vikings. Interesting civs. I don't think... Well, the only civ out of that list that I've seen on this map before was Franks. Dogao has Mongols. He has Chinese. He has Malay. And he has Indians. So, he has some very strong civilizations. Gallifrey, Avandius, Rainan, Mr. Lebowski, or Mrs. Lebowski, sorry, I called you a Mr. Thank you guys for the subs and resub. I'll read off a few of the messages here. 30 months are 2.5 years, 120 weeks, and almost 840 days. Oh boy, it has been a long time. You're making me feel really old now, Vandius, because I remember that time. So thank you for the 30 months, dude. Ty donated $10. He said, I'm always binge watching on YouTube, rarely get to stop by the stream, hyped for Hidden Cup 2. Thanks for your dedication to AoE 2. PS, won't the home maps give away the opponent's identity? Not necessarily, but it's a good tell. I think it's going to be a fun thing to talk about for Hidden Cup 2 during the main event. It's not a dead giveaway, but it's a good tell. Thank you very much, again, guys. Thank you, Bunny Warren. He says, I've been looking at getting some corduroy pillows. They've been making headlines. Thank you, Bunny Warren. Hope you can sort out your headlines. We have game number 4, and this is on the Hidden Cup 2 map, Cup. In the blue, we have Dogao. He's chosen Malay. No surprise there. And then in the red, we have Slavs for land. Now, that pick is a bit surprising. The main thing about Slavs that makes them strong is the fact that they have fast farmers. So that tells me that LaaaN might go for more of a land approach, and that Dogao might go for more of a water approach with his Sieve. If you've never seen the map, it's probably one of the most diverse maps in the tournament. You have water on the right, which you can dock and fish. You could also build here. This is amphibious terrain, so if you'd like to, you can build here. You can send villagers there, whatever. Build mills to collect the fish, whatever you want. However, if you do dock on the right, you cannot cross here. You shall not pass to the left with fire galleys or demos. So we've seen some players dock this area because there's slightly more fish sometimes. We've seen players dock this area. We've seen players not dock. I don't think there's a defined meta for this, which makes it... I think it makes it the most exciting map for me. When I showed this to a few players, we did some tests and we talked about it, and one of the players said, this is what Age of Empires 2 should be about. Not knowing the meta every single time you go into a game. Having different strategies based off your civs, based off your style. But LaaaN needs this win. LaaaN needs to win this, I think, because tie it up 2-2, you have lots of opportunities. If you fail once, then you're not under a lot of pressure. But if you go down 3-1 against a player like Dogao, it will be very, very difficult. Did you record the explanation? Because it is exactly the same. No, I don't record it. I just say it a lot, I guess. So pretty much what I said at the start, I think Dogao, he probably needs to wall on land. Because he can't go head-to-head on land with Slavs. At least not at the start. I think he might wall more. You could wall here, here, and dock. Okay, and there's the dock. And I think LaaaN might not dock at all. Yeah, look, he's milling. So he's using his wood to build a mill, which is your standard build order. This is what you would see on Arabia. I think he might just go for scouts. Okay. So, it's been a 6 series so far, and we have a lot of new people here, and I can see that in the chat. I did want to ask this because someone brought it up, and I'll do this during the main event as well. It's probably one of the coolest things about doing what I do. I don't just have a lot of American viewers or German viewers. I have people from all over the world that are here to watch, and I don't think that can really sink in sometimes. I think it's something we forget about. So, if you wouldn't mind, if you're watching the stream right now, you could just type the country you're from. I'm really curious. You don't have to tell me your street address. You don't need to tell me your credit card number, unless you want to. But, yeah, chat's probably going to blow up here for a second. Jeez! That's a lot of people, man. So we have people from all over the world, man. Oh, we even have someone from Mars! Elon Musk, welcome to the stream. I wasn't sure if the rumors of you watching were true. Thank you for stopping by, Elon. I was curious if you could hook me up with a Tesla. I'm looking to save the environment, but I'm also looking to save money, so if you could send one my way, that'd be great, thanks. Alright, land is clicked up. Barracks. This actually might be man-at-arms, guys. This might be man-at-arms. If he's building the barracks this early. Yeah, he's thinking man-at-arms. And Dogao is walling like crazy, man. Now, what's cool about this? LaaaN has scouted the fish. He sees the fish, and he could kill the fish with his man-at-arms. So, the safer dock would have been out here, but there's not as many fish here. There's more fish in the center. This isn't always consistent, by the way. It can be slightly different each time. So you need to scout it. But it is freaking huge that LaaaN has scouted that Dogao has fish here. And each fish has 225 food because it's salmon. Normal deep fish has 350, so it's slightly less. This tells us that about 200 food has been gained from these fishing ships. And I don't see the fishing ships lasting all that long. Dogao is going with a Sieve and a strategy that a lot of players found successful during the qualifiers. And I have not seen this from LaaaN. And LaaaN was one of the players who played the quote-unquote new meta, or one of the new styles in round 1. And oh wow, look, I think he's thought about this. He's not even upgrading to Man-at-Arms. Oh no, I lied. He is upgrading to Man-at-Arms. But he can kill the fishing ships. These fishing ships can't go back to the dock unless they want to die. So these fish are pretty much useless now. And he's also docking himself. How many people here saw the cast between Fire and Licks? It was Fire and Licks, and Hera was here with me. That was the day I had the stream issue. Do you guys remember that? Anyone? Well, in that, I told Hera that I think the best approach, if you're docking this area, is to not dock in Dark Age, because you'll lose your fish. And I think that going to water second is best. That's what LaaaN did here. Dogao is not able to go fast castle off this. He's now building archery ranges. And he's hoping to save this one fishing ship, which is currently idle, with a demo. And that demo could also be used for other things. It could be used for the Man-at-Arms. I'm loving this right now. I think this is absolutely amazing. There's so many different things to focus on. Dogao is attempting to kill this fire galley with his scout, and he can't do it. He can't do it because of the positioning of the fire galley. So LaaaN out-micros him, keeping the fire galley alive on 3 HP. Kills the scout. It's 4 kills and 0 deaths so far for LaaaN, who needs the victory. That was really well played. Now, Dogao, of course, could make another fire galley. He is also making archers. So this is where LaaaN starts to lose a little bit of control. But I think that as long as LaaaN follows where the archers might be, he could use his navy to kill these units. Now, he can't kill them if they go to this side, though. Isn't that fascinating? The importance of having a scout here is huge. He's looking, okay, where's the archers? They didn't go to the north. They must be going this way. Now, he didn't repair the fire galley. LaaaN's playing so good. Look, he finds the archers. That's so smart. And he's walled this side so the archers can't really hit him. And he's making skirms now. That's so smart. And Dogao's now looking for things. This is a good game. And the Man-at-Arms still knocking away at the walls here. Man, I'm so into this right now. And I swear it has nothing to do with the 3 cups of coffee I drank today. It has everything to do with the gameplay. Now this could be 359 IQ from LaaaN. He has a 3 HP fire galley, and he's tempting Dogao into using a demo versus that. And don't ask me about the IQ numbers. My IQ is so much higher than that I'm able to establish how much IQ it takes to make a play. Now if Dogao notices this, and he could if he clicked it, he could just make his own fire galley. Alright, you guys are apparently more addicted to caffeine than I am. Today I learned. Let's see. Oh, please. The skirms. Oh, don't do it, Dogao. Don't do it. He did it! It was 3 HP! No! Oh, man. It worked. It was 3 HP. I swear, I feel like that had to be intentional there. I guess he could have just repaired it, though. Yeah, he could have just repaired it. So LaaaN has the faster working farms, and he has more eco on land established. But Dogao is catching up there, and Dogao is now making his own skirms, and he's sending some archers and skirms around this side. But this has been stone-walled up. There's a tower on the gold. You could also wall here if you wanted to. I think LaaaN should do that, so these units don't run in and be annoying. Skirms and man-at-arms and archers and fire galleys are in the center. LaaaN just needs his own fire galleys out here. This is getting a bit risky now. You could lose control of the water, and that's not something you want to do against Malay. Malay are Malayzing if they have the docks up later on in the game. In fact, it's extremely overpowered, the harbor tech. Was this map created as a troll and turned out to be a very nice map? Or was it a real thought-through map? It was a thought-through map. I'm slightly offended that you don't have faith in my creativity. I'm slightly offended that you even thought that this would have been a troll. Oh my god! Oh my god, the demo! The demo! Oh! Oh! Let's go! Let's go! Boom! That was huge, man! And it'll only get bigger. It'll only get bigger as the game goes on. And I'm talking about the explosions, not something else, because this game has been so good. Skirms and man-at-arms looping around to kill blue. Dogao he's done a good job here. Had he run in, he would have lost his units. At least he's been annoying. Perfect. And it's a rather close game, 48 population versus 50. It was just like the last game, though. It was just like Cross. The game was close, then someone took a big lead. And they took that lead to the Imperial Age and got the win. And so I think that LaaaN needs to be very cautious now with this water thing. He needs to decide on what to do. And I'm truly not sure. I mean, I think that he should probably make a stable in the next stage. Making a few knights would make a bit of sense because they don't die as quickly to Navy as ranged units would. But at the same time, you're not going to get into your opponent's base with knights. And he's just clicked up to Castle Age, and there is the stable. But if you make knights in Boom, and this repair villager ran all the way to the center of the map, which is pretty funny. If you make knights and solely focus on your eco, I think that Dogao might dock this other side and take control of that. So I think it could possibly be a mistake to forget about the water. Malay are good on water, so if you take that from them, maybe that's the best way to give yourself a lead in this game. Especially because you've already seen that your opponent's making archers and skirms. Why not make fires? Why not make more demos? Dogao is pretty late to Castle Age, but he does advance 80% faster because of the Malay. And he should click up now-ish, needs food. And now that he's on his way up, he'll be right behind LaaaN, man. This is such a good game. Yeah, about 40 seconds behind. But LaaaN has had the better trades. He's had better kills. He'll kill this archer now. And now, does he see this? Now, this is where I'm thinking having a dock on this side would be huge. Oh, man. Nope. He doesn't see this. It's one moment of weakness, man. One moment of weakness. Okay. Oh, he sees the archers. Dogao will be kicking himself for that. That happens sometimes. Your units will auto-attack the closest building. Dogao's running right back. Because he just alerted LaaaN to the fact that he is on the left-hand side. And funny enough, Dogao might take the right. This is... I just gotta stop saying it, but... I'll say it one more time. This has been a crazy game. I've loved every second of this. A siege workshop for LaaaN. Mangonels are probably safer. They're a safer bet. I think they're a safer bet because you can use them on the water and you can not use them... Or sorry, you can use them on land. Whereas demos, you have to get lucky. Here come the knights. I've loved the use of the repair vills throughout this whole series from both players. But the repair vills are not going to save the fire galleys. The villager goes down, the fire galleys go down, and LaaaN runs away, and he does have a demo in here. Just a demo raft. But it's actually a set between Dogao and Cloud where we saw what a demo raft can do. And it was Dogao who used that. So he'll know. 3 TCs for Dogao. Not sure if he has the food to produce out of them yet, but he's intending on booming. And just 1 town center for land. Nope, he'll be on 2. And he expects Dogao to go to the left, and that's where his knights are going. Could catch out these crossbows. It's a scorpion even. 2 scorpions. Oh, it'd be so good to catch Doubt off guard here. Did I say Doubt? I meant Dogao, sorry. We added the Doubt emote, and I'm all confused. No +2. Keep that in mind. No +2 defense, which means that Dogao could micro this down. I mean, if it was Doubt, we know what the answer would be. But with Dogao, he can micro this down. Get it. The knights are pretty weak. He's running back. He's not sending in more crossbows. I think he sends in more crossbows there. Oh! Oh! Wait. The demo misses. Oh, man. Inches away. Inches away. So, that gives Land a pretty commanding lead with the kills in this game. And now we have a pause. So, Dogao tried to be sneaky, man. He knew the left side was exposed. Forget the fact Lan already had a TC there. He had his military waiting for it. There's gold in the center. That's actually something I haven't addressed yet, but that's another reason to have the water on the left-hand side. I think Lan is... Well, they're both going to boom, right? But I think that what Lan needs to do is use the mobility of his knights to keep Dogao from expanding, and then Dogao will need to find some way to branch out throughout this game. Now, he could just forget that, maybe secure these resources somehow, and try and win water. It's an option. If Dogao had the map control, he would have a significant lead because Slavs are the one who would normally have that here. Another TC for Lan. I like the placement of his TCs. When you're up against crossbows, it's nice to have the TC more to the north than your vills. If he had TC'd here instead, the crossbows could snipe vills. It's not the case right now. 72 pop versus 66, guys. And that's because of the military. That's because Dogao's making crossbows, and you can mass more crossbows than you can knights. So, for the Hidden Cup main event, we will have some special emotes. I've already added a few. So, during the main event, which is 4 days, we won't know who the players are. They'll be playing with names like Genghis Khan, William Wallace, etc. And, so anyway, I have a T90 confirmed emote. So, if we see good micro, we could say Viper confirmed. At least I know that's what some people will say, right? Whatever you want to say, you have the confirmed emote. I know that Doubt and Viper are going to be the two that are guessed the most. So we have a Doubt emote. It is literally Doubt's face on a cup, which looks ridiculous, but that's fine. And then we also... Ooh. Okay, Lan just gets away there. He's planning on doing something here in the center, guys. Keep an eye on that. But also, we'll probably add a Viper emote. Don't have that yet. We have T90 who? So it's a picture of a paper bag over the person's head. We don't know. If you don't know who someone is, you could say, who is this man with that? You have the confirmed, what did I say? Confirmed, Doubt, who. There's got to be something else, right? Didn't we add 4? I should know this. I just put them into the Twitch website last night. Oh, and I'm new. Yes, I'm new is not talking about Hidden Cups, so I forgot about that. Now, notice what Dogao has done. He's docked this other side. Something that Lan thought about earlier, but he did not do. And Dogao has pikemen, monks, and crossbowmen here. Now imagine if Lan had a dock. A dock with a few demos, and this could be so different. He does have mangonels and he does have scorpions though. Dogao will probably spot that. This is Dogao's point of view. He sees a scorpion! Ooh! He goes for the mango and he gets it. But has he gone too far? This is a slow army. Does he need to run back? I think he does. This is risky. Now Dogao can make more navy. He's making demos. And maybe he's considering building a castle in the center. That would give a huge advantage to any player who could get that down. LaaaN attempts to convert the fire ship, misses out on that conversion. Has scorpions and mangonels. Now Dogao will send in his demo. He's also hoping to get conversions with his monks. This is too tough to call, but the demo gets converted, and kills 2 monks. Are you kidding me? That was a last-second conversion that will change the rest of the game. I actually thought that was a bug, because I've never seen that before, so I was so confused, and Dogao gets destroyed because of the one conversion. Another demo is on the way for Dogao. This one won't get converted. Okay, and there's some redemption for him, but my god. What a plot twist, man. He killed 2 scorpions and a mangonel, though. And Dogao takes the lead again, but holy cow. Holy cow, I'm losing it over here, guys. I am losing it. That was so sweet. And I still think there's a race for who will build the castle in the center first. Look, LaaaN would like to place that. Oh, it was a nice demo shot for Dogao. I'm not so sure this castle goes up. I'm not so sure. He does have the mangonel and the scorpion on safe grounds now. He's making a lot of light cabin knights. Keep your mangonels away from the water, LaaaN. Uh-oh. Actually, that might not be bad to lose a light cav. This is such a sick game. Oh, Dogao patrols into the mangonel shot. He knows that has to be a castle. And now Dogao needs to think, alright, what do I do now? Oh, don't... Yeah, I think he deleted his demo there. He didn't want that to happen again, where it gets converted. Nice job from LaaaN. Look at the KD. 85 kills, 50 deaths. The castle is only at 61%. That's a lot of pikemen, and that's a lot of crossbows. Don't tell me we're going to have a doubt castle. Man, oh, if you send 5 more vills, you get it up. Well, this is great for us, because we have the doubt emote. Doubt confirmed. And this is great for Doubt too, because I know Doubt's been watching. So, Doubt, if you're ever in that situation during the event, man, just send 5 more vills, and no one will know who you are. Alright? That has got to be tilting. That has got to be tilting. Oh, that changes the whole game. If he had completed this castle, he could do so much more. And now he's lost military momentum. He'll lose control of the water. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. Oh, he's trying to build a castle on the amphibious terrain where there's demo ships. You're crazy, LaaaN. You're crazy. There's no way this castle goes up. Oh, I'm getting so emotional over this. I feel bad for the guy. There's just no way. There's so many demos here. Look at the vill difference now. 20 vill lead for Dogao. He has a 40 population lead. He denies the second castle. LaaaN will be an imp. The demo raft won't save him though. I mean, hey, maybe this castle goes up, but what on earth is the guy gonna do? I'm not sure what he'll do. Oh, he's raiding on this side. He's actually done some damage there. See, I wasn't looking at that, and I'm not even playing. I imagine Dogao wasn't looking there. Always a hole. So Dogao needs to deal with the light cav in his base. And Dogao will probably click up to the Imperial Age himself here in a moment. And he's adding more docks, and he's now going for water. He's now adding war galleys. The power of the Malay. Someone said, what did LaaaN do wrong in this game? He didn't get the castle up. He gets the castle up, he's not behind 20 villagers. He's in imp faster. And with that castle's up, he could dock around here. He could launch from here with trebs and kill these docks. There's not a lot that LaaaN has done wrong. It was just simply the castle. He should have sent more vills. And Dogao, he has to be thanking the AoE gods that he was able to stop that. The castle's at 80%. It's not like it was at 10%. 80%, man. This castle will be finished, I think. Luckily, the war galleys are a bit slow in firing. Yep. This castle does finish. And so now the navy for Dogao can't really... You can't go this way. Dogao has to be expecting trebuchets from LaaaN, and that's what LaaaN's making. So, I don't know. Maybe you make some rams for that. Maybe you make navy. On this side, Dogao has still had some water control. And he's hitting the light cab as they try and run across the raid once more. And Dogao is also patrolling light cab and arbs on the... Or, sorry, crossbows. I imagine they will be arbs. On this side. Smart thinking. Branching out his eco a little bit because he can afford to do so because he has that water control. Yeah, I guess it's just 2 light cav, but Dogao's got to wall that up. This wall here is so easy, you know? Wall it with palisades. Your water control will keep you safe. Dogao's making defensive trebuchets. He's getting arbalest, he's getting bracer. And the beautiful thing about his position is that bracer also affects his navy. So if he gets enough water control, he can just push this right back. Think what LaaaN needs to do is continue the push, guys. Continue the push, and I like the light cav rating. He has to use that mobility in any way he can, and has light cav and demo ships. Can you guys check to tell me if Slavs get heavy demo? I'm not sure on that. I feel like they shouldn't get it because they're such a good land civ that they should lack more on water. The thing with demos, though, is they're a risk. They kill 5 units, sure, but that's it then. Not like galleys. Galleys can be used throughout the whole game. And so Dogao, he's killed the trebuchets. He has his own trebs. He will likely kill LaaaN's castle. And if that happens, I don't see any way back for LaaaN in this game. He can take the resources on the right. He can take this gold. But the guy just can't push Dogao. Oh my god, that's a lot of demos, though. No heavy demo? Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. Now, does Dogao's ram spot that? Oh. Well, hey, if you feel like there's no way back, at least try a big explosion, right? I think you need the light cav in front and the demos behind. Charge! Okay, Dogao sees it. Dogao's backing up. He snipes all the demos before they're a problem. Really good stuff. Demos are so quick, that's not easy to do. Well, what Dogao needs is to wall at home. It's actually, funny enough, it was Dogao versus Cloud, and I thought Cloud had the lead. Cloud was playing as a melee. Dogao had Franks, which he later said was a bad pick. So he learned his lesson there, but in that game, Dogao had Paladins, and he ran right into Cloud's base because Cloud didn't wall, and Dogao has the resources and he's had the time to wall. This is just giving LaaaN an opportunity back into the game. And we just missed some demo shots here. The demos could work. This is sloppy stuff for Dogao. He could be regretting this. There's plenty of gold out here for LaaaN. If he gets the Vills out there, he can snag it. He has gold here. He could also take this gold away. There's a lot of gold on this map. And now Thalassocracy is coming in. That's the upgrade that makes the melee tougher to push on water, because the docks become harbors, so they'll begin to shoot arrows. That could actually snipe demos as well. Let's snipe anything. But a Vil lead for LaaaN, and LaaaN is Slavs. He is the Slav farmers. And here he comes on this side. Dogao is realizing that he's losing the flanks. And now he'll have a doubt castle, because the Hussars arrived to deny that. There are some possibilities for LaaaN. And I think if LaaaN's able to get Siege Ram, he could pressure the center. There's no answer to Siege Ram from Dogao. Now, obviously, this castle is going to be completed. Villagers died there, though. I like this. I like the way LaaaAN's playing this. I like how he's spreading himself out on that left-hand side. He was down 60 population after that castle debacle. 60 population. And now there's only a 30 population difference. He does also have 2 relics. He could get this one to make that 3. He could get this one to make that 4. Look at LaaaAN scouting. He sees virtually everything on this map. Everything that's important. A lot of Dogao's military is patrolling around on the flanks. They're not pushing because he's not protected there. He has 15 halbs chasing 2 hussars, for example. So I don't think that he thinks he's secure yet. But what he is trying to do is mount a big push and launch from this area. I think if he were to castle here, which he doesn't have the stone for, he could push right in. But guys, LaaaAN has capped ram. And he has a lot of hussars. And he will probably take this relic. He already has 1,000 gold. If he had siege ram, there's no doubt in my mind he would push the center right now. That's just what he's lacking, is the siege ram upgrade. Mainly lacking it because he's creating so many hussars. Oof. It's a lot of pointy boys for Dogao though, and Dogao's finally getting that armor upgrade. Yeah, I think you have to wait here, LaaaAN. It's a nice thought. And unfortunately for him, now Dogao's onto him. Look at those harbors. Someone said something about the Relic Monastery. Yeah, I don't know where the Relic Monastery was. LaaaAN did lose it. Yeah, it was on the front, actually. Ooh, that's big. That could be... Those could be stolen. Dogao could steal those relics. See, normally Slabs would go champion against Halberdier, but champion's not great against Navy. Champion's not great against Arbalest. Something that Dogao has. Oh, Dogao's forward docking. He's harbor rushing. If this dock completes, it will start shooting arrows. Oh, that's going to be so annoying. The demo's used on the 2 trebs. The dock that the demo was produced from gets trebbed down. Oh god, it begins. And now I'm beginning to worry for LaaaAN. I don't know if he could push this back. He couldn't even get to the center with the rams and hussars. He's definitely not getting to the center. Dogao's finally getting to the right-hand side. He's docked the right-hand side, so he has the harbors there. No relics for LaaaAN. Little control in the north for LaaaAN. And there's karambits and halbs all up in his business. The guy's running out of food as Slabs. Not a good sign. That castle, man. That castle. I swear to God, if he gets the castle up in the center earlier, he has the lead. The last thing that he needed was Dogao having that water control as Malay. And if that castle goes up, the rest of the game is different. It's that simple, man. The second that was denied, Dogao, I mean, he's had a few shaky moments. But you always knew the potential was there once you got the left-hand side. And it's now 190 population to 110. There's no coming back from this for LaaaAN. There's just no coming back from this. What, are you going to raid here? There's a castle and there's docks. You're going to raid here? There's a castle and there's halbs. 75% of the map for Dogao. And I think he'll have 75% of the wins. This is huge. LaaaAN calls the GG. Dogao is now up 3-1. That was a sick game, man. The highlight of that game for me had to be the demo conversion, though. With the demo conversion, it was just a matter of a few small things. And in that case, it was luck. Or faith, you could call it. When it came down to the castle, that was just... Red needed a few more villagers, a few more demos, a few more knights or something, you know? That was such a competitive match. That was so freaking amazing. I can't say enough about that, man. Oh, holy. Well, Malay seemed like a strong civ for this. Basically, if you get to this position with Malay where you have the water, there's not many civs that can push you back. I do feel bad for LaaaAN. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I feel like he would have had the lead. had he got this castled up, he could have trebbed down all of the docks from Dogao and pressured on land, which would have been his thing. So I feel a bit bad for the guy, and he has to come back from that. The sign of a champion, the sign of a good player, is how they can forget about the previous game and go into the next. And the next one will be LaaaAN's home map. Here's the achievements, though. 352 kills for Dogao. Economically speaking, I think this got better for Dogao in the Imperial Age after the raids. So it was fairly close. Of course, Dogao benefited from the gold in the center and LaaaAN did not. Look at the food difference, man. Slavs are insane. 97% of the map explored. LaaaAN knew where everything was, where he needed to be. He couldn't get there. And all right. LaaaAN dominated most of the game, and if that castle went up with much quicker imp coming in, I think LaaaAN would have won 5 minutes later. Maybe not 5 minutes. Maybe not 5 minutes, comment, but I agree. I agree. I think he could have won the game for sure. Whoa, what's up with these subs? Somebody... Oh, Melty gifted. How many is this? Is that... 20? I think that's 20 subs. Melty... Well, this one didn't break my eardrums. That's a plus, and it also helped 20 people. Melty, thank you very much for gifting 20 subs to the stream. Now, I promise for Hidden Cup we'll have all new alerts, alright? So you don't need to worry about that, but at least with the current alerts I have set up on silent, you will see 20 separate notifications. What a series this has been, man. I'm really hoping that LaaaAN gets a win here. I do not want this to end 4-1. I think that LaaaAN has shown that he has the skill to take this to 7 games. And LaaaAN's home map is El Dorado. He has Huns, he has Franks, and he has Vikings. But Dogao has... I mentioned this at the start of the series. Dogao has Chinese. So I don't love the El Dorado home map pick without picking Chinese. LaaaAN could have picked Chinese as his first Civ. He didn't do that. He picked Japs instead, which he got the win with earlier. But Dogao has Chinese. Dogao's going Chinese 110% here. Chinese is the best El Dorado Civ, I think. Normally it's Chinese or Meso Civs that are dominant. I'll talk more about why that is. But here we have it. Dogao is playing as the Chinese. No surprise there. And then we have LaaaAN, who needs to have 3 wins in a row to make it into Hidden Cup 2. LaaaAN is playing as the Vikings. So, the reason Chinese are good on this map is because they get instant food. Chinese start with 6 villagers unlike any other Civ, but they start with 0 food. So the weakness on some maps is that if you can't find your food right away, despite starting with 6 vills, you'll find the vill count is even because you couldn't create more of them. But on El Dorado, you have the fish underneath the TC. So you see that 2 vill lead? Yeah, that's going to be consistent throughout the game. On top of that, Chinese have cheap techs, and they have one of the most well-balanced tech trees in the game. So, more often than not, Chinese are the best Civ for this map, which makes me question the home map pick and the Civ pick of LaaaAN. However, Vikings aren't bad. Vikings are definitely not bad. They do get the free wheelbarrow upgrade. And if you think about it this way, when you research the wheelbarrow upgrade, it takes the time... The research takes about the time it would take to create 3 vills. So if it's a 3 vill lead for Dogao, that might just be a Dark Age bonus here. Because once it comes to Feudal Age, Dogao will have to research the wheel upgrade, and LaaaAN will not. So that's one way you could look at it. Now, El Dorado, on top of the fish, the focus is the center. There's golden stone there. Notice how we're on LaaaAN's point of view, and he can see that. So if someone goes out there to build a tower or an outpost, whatever they might build, you can see it. LaaaAN needs to see it, and LaaaAN needs to kill. LaaaAN needs this win, and I really hope he gets it, man. LaaaAN has probably provided the most exciting sets in the qualifiers. It has to be said. I will talk more about that on the Hidden Cup talk show the week before the main event, but yeah, I think that LaaaAN has been one of the standouts from the qualifiers, for sure. I mean, you look at Dogao. Dogao was #1 seed in the qualifier. The guy When he's in form, he's a top 10 player. A lot of you guys might not know him because he was gone from the scene for a year, but I don't think it's a surprise that Dogao is at this stage. But for LaaaN, I think if he were to make it into the Hidden Cup 2, man, he could surprise people. We'll see. So to answer a couple questions, the Jordan vs. Fire set was essentially a final, and this is essentially a final, because the winner of the sets... oh! LaaaN just shot his own sheep. The winner of the sets, they will move on to the main event. So the bracket can be a little bit confusing, because... hold on a moment, we have a pause. The bracket can be a little bit confusing, because normally on all brackets the final's played. If you look at the qualifying bracket, and don't do it if you didn't see Jordan vs. Fire yesterday, because it has spoilers. The final just has one game, we're not playing that out. Yeah. So yesterday, Jordan vs. Fire was essentially a final. Winner gets a spot in the main event, and that's the same here. There can be no restarts, because it's past 4 minutes. I don't see anything that would make me think admin re, so maybe LaaaN has another phone call or something. T90 official, how are there fish jumping out of the sand? Science, man. Isn't that right, chat? How many people are scientists here today? Man, I don't have the exact data, but I thought that 90% of my stream were scientists. Yes, see, so, yeah, it's science, and they can tell you. If you have any questions, just direct your questions towards the audience here today. Okay, the last thing you want in LaaaN shoes is to run into the TC. Oh, no! That's so bad, man. That's so bad. He saw the sand. He just didn't react in time. He had a full HP scout versus a half HP scout, and now Dogao has the lead. Unless LaaaN gets a hill hit. Yeah, that was an advantage that LaaaN just threw away there. Yeah, it's a small thing, but scouts... Yes. Oh, Dogao says, WTF, I killed your fish. Yes. Wait. Wait. How did he kill the fish? Did he palisade it? Alright, scientists, we need some help here. Because if he palisaded the fish, then that's not allowed. I don't know. I'm not sure if he killed it. I wasn't paying attention to that. Because if the fish was killed, I need to speak to Dogao about that, actually. 1 second. No, you can't attack it. That doesn't make any sense. Let's see. Hi. He's in Do Not Disturb. I mean, LaaaN didn't make any complaints about it. That's a weird thing. LaaaN's just like, oh, you killed my fish. Cool, let's start. Dogao seemed surprised that he had killed it, though. You know, so I don't think there was any malice in it. Wait. Maybe he tried it? That is not allowed. Okay, pause game. I need to speak to Dogao real quick. Because, yeah, if he palisaded it, that's not allowed. So this is the chat. LaaaN says, I think I lost one because I hunted over it. Is it possible? WTF. Dogao says, I killed your fish. LaaaN says yes. Dogao says yes. So he's not trying to hide the fact it happened. Oh, you can't see it, sorry. Alright, I'm gonna speak to them. Best case scenario is we replay the game. I don't know if Robo's around. I don't know what the settings were for the qualifiers when it comes to laming fish. And I don't know if it was intentional, if it happened by accident or what. If it's palisading it, then it's accident. How's the silence, guys? How's the silence? Is the suspense growing? So here's the deal. There's no rule against it. So typically, that is not allowed, right? In the settings, it does not specify if you can or cannot lame. So thus you could do that. Dogao said to me, he checked the settings. He said asking for a re would be really unfair because if there was a rule saying that it was not allowed, he would not have done that. And the reason he did it was because he didn't see a rule. So we will play it out. And so we have to play it out. Otherwise, if I were to do a re, it would be unfair to Dogao. Dogao took a competitive advantage. We could make fun of the rules. I mean, you could point fingers at me. That's fine. All right. And now LaaaaaN is saying, are you going to change this rule in the future? Because that would be very unfair to me now. So, all right, let me speak to them real quick, guys. Okay. So we'll continue. So fortunately, we're back in the game. They'll continue. It didn't happen when I had 300 food. If that would have happened at 2 minutes, I would look like a much bigger fool right now. You know? Luckily, there wasn't a lot of food left at that time. I don't know how much exactly, but we'll have to play it out. I'm personally thankful that did not happen at the Dark Age and had both fish be lamed, because Dogao has a point, man. Dogao's looking to advance. Dogao's read all the rules, and he said, oh, I could potentially lame fish. Let's do that. So I'll explain what happened. So when you have fish on these maps, where it's this quicksand terrain, what you can do is you can build a palisade. So you go, at Dogao's point of view, you know how you can palisade trees that are around your TC? You could do the same with fish. So he knew it was allowed, and so he built a you have to go into the line of sight. So remember when he ran into the TC? This is where they had paused it, and we had all that conversation. He intentionally ran in so he could scout it, and he built a palisade over it. Oh, God! Alright, well now his scout's dead. So that was sloppy from him. So, I mean, I have to hand it to Dogao, man. It's not against the rules. I mean, if anything, that's just on us as admins, right? So we'll have to look at that before the main event. Fortunately, and we could talk about this a bit later if we have to. Fortunately, LaaaaaN was very pleasant and very understanding of the situation. And fortunately, he didn't have like 2 whole fish removed. He just lost maybe, I don't know the exact amount, maybe 50 to 100. So, yeah, when I say on us, I'm not talking about the audience. I'm talking about myself and like admins and stuff, because I'm not the only one who's in charge of these things. Alright, so man-at-arms for Dogao. Remember the Chinese advantage, right? So he still has this huge Vil lead. Dogao has a lead in the series as well. He's up 3-1. And LaaaaaN has built an archer range to make a few skirmishers. One thing I might not have had time to point out, because the casting kind of got slowed down there, is on this map you do have some gold and some stone at your base. So you have a little bit. It's just skirms now, and it's a few skirms and archers as a follow-up for Dogao. But LaaaaaN has to be careful with this tree. Sometimes villagers will finish a tree, go to the weak one. You see this? Yeah, he will overchop there, so he needs to keep the man-at-arms away from his wood line. So if that didn't make sense, I can explain. From a competitive standpoint, I absolutely admire Dogao for thinking of that and looking at the rules prior. And the guy's like, oh, I can do that. So let's do it. I mean, from a competitive standpoint, good for him, man. You know? But you know, it is what it is at this point, so. At some point soon, Dogao, in fact, it might be now because he's housed, he'll have to research Wheelbarrow. And if he researches Wheelbarrow, that's when the Vil counts will start to be even again. That Chinese advantage will slowly start to disappear. And LaaaaaN has skirmishers. He has spears. He has enough to kill whatever Dogao has right now. Until Dogao makes his own skirmishers here. We'll see who gets fletching first. Now, on this map, it's generally pretty easy to wall. You see both players doing that on the front, but your farms are going to be away from your town center. You can't farm in the quicksand. So, you normally see aggressive feudal ages, and LaaaaaN is in the center now. There's still man-at-arms here for Dogao, so this is not an easy tower to get up. And if the man-at-arms are here, they'll at least delay the tower for LaaaaaN. And while both players are going to the center, I think that Dogao's tower will go up, so he will stay here. Now, LaaaAN's Vilmeiker was pretty good there. He could have lost a lot more, but he needs to leave the middle, especially with the weak villagers. Some of these villagers are on low HP. He needs to get out of here before they get sniped. Yeah, and he leaves now. Now, does he have a blacksmith going up somewhere? He does. He needs his fletching upgrade. Dogao already has that. And so Dogao gets to the middle first. Now, the good thing is it's a bit like King of the Hill, where you can see where his tower is, and if you want to place your next one, you could normally find a good spot. So that's the good thing. I think 9 times out of 10, the player who goes to the middle first on this map tends to lose for that reason. You still have gold here, you still have stone here. LaaaaaN will need to reposition his lumber camp somewhere soon. He also needs to wall this side. Yeah, I think this could be good for LaaaaaN. Yep, man-at-arm won't last very long. He's dead. And now Dogao is wisely running away. Dogao is also wisely walling up. The thing about Dogao's current situation is that he's setting the pace of the game. So while he's running away with less military here, as long as he doesn't lose everything, he could mass another group and either send it to the left to raid or just join up forces. And that's what he'll do. Vikings eco is not to be underestimated. And no wheel yet for Dogao. So the Viking villagers have been working better, working more efficient. Just full skirmishers, which might tempt someone to build a stable. A stable for scouts is not too uncommon when everyone's making skirmishers like this. Now there's a tower for Dogao. It could be one of many more towers, so LaaaN might get a bit antsy now seeing that. But what you could do is just go to Castle Age faster than your opponent and castle drop the center. You do have stone, remember. You don't have to be in the biggest rush to get there. I do think you need to wall your eco, though. This needs to be walled up before Dogao gets in. Nine kills for LaaaN, 6 deaths. Depending on how you look at it, it's someone's favorite number out there. And it is 1 range versus 2 ranges, right? Yeah, LaaaN is just on 1 range. I think he'll try and go Castle Age. Look at the farming eco. I think he'll try and go castle, and then maybe, if he wants the gold and the stone in the center, place a castle. And as far as I can see, he'll get this up, so this is good. Dogao's doing the same. LaaaN is aware that Dogao might be shifting to the left or the right because you can see it in the center. And I think it's a risk for Dogao to try and see if this is opened, because if you get there and it's walled up, then LaaaN could run to the center of your base, so... Now, if we see a stable switch, Chinese are much better in that regard. They get camels, they also get bloodlines on their knights. There's not a lot the Chinese do not get, in all honesty. Alright, and Dogao is choosing to micro uphill. I don't like this idea for Dogao. I think he just needs to go back, though that was even. But at least he knows now that LaaaN's army is at his base. And so he probably expects LaaaN to be considering a very aggressive push towards the center. LaaaN clicks up to Castle Age first. He is adding a stable. And Dogao will be right after him. Did Dogao research wheelbarrow, guys? Did he research that? I wasn't paying attention to it. Oh god, tech trees scare me. He did research it, okay. He did research. Now Vikings will get handcart for free in the next stage. So that's another eco upgrade Vikings get. The Chinese won't, but I'm just curious. Well, I guess there's about a vil and a half, 2 vil difference. Because LaaaN will hit castle first and can create more vils then. But I love Dogao's position. He has a center control. He's also Chinese. The Chinese are significantly better with the knight switch. And it's tough to do anything else if you're in LaaaN's position. I'm curious, farm numbers. 20 lumberjacks, 18 farmers for LaaaN. Dogao has 19 farmers, 13 lumberjacks. It's so close. So close. Dogao waiting for LaaaN to pop his head out. Sees him. They trade 1 for 1, and now Dogao is going to back up. Now, this is probably for a siege workshop, this villager here. You can see a lot of this map, so if it goes up anywhere near here, Dogao will be aware. The villagers should... Oh! Don't show him! What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, wait. He might survive, actually. The skirmishers didn't fire. Yeah, the Vil will survive. He's building... Uh-oh. Okay, he's fine. And now there's a siege workshop with the other villager. It was a distraction. Dogao can still see this one, though. Elite Skirm and Bod Canera was the choice for LaaaN, and Dogao is just going to make him dance. I don't think Dogao will be too upset about losing these Skirms. He shouldn't lose them. He's upgrading them right now, but he's just waiting for his knights, and he's building his own siege workshop, so he responds with a siege workshop. Now this is where the clock is ticking for LaaaN. This is where he definitely needs to be thinking about getting to the center. The KD is good. It's 18 kills, now 19 kills versus 12, but now we have +2 knights. So the knights have 4 pierce armor, 120 HP. Will be accompanied by mangonels, and this is where Dogao should still have the lead. Now, you can build TCs out here. I feel like the priority has to be military. And, oh, maybe even pikemen. Pikemen for LaaaN. Viking pikemen, not bad. A little bit more HP. Pikemen are more successful now because there's not as many skirmishers for Dogao. Dogao could hold this, though. If he micros the skirms against the pikes and uses the mangonels versus the rams, and the pikes, and the skirmishers, he could be okay. A 2 ram start for LaaaN. This is fascinating that he's done this. There's not enough pikemen yet. Oh, this is so risky. Oh, the knights are going in after the mangonel, though. And if the mangonel goes down, the skirmishers can stay in the choke point that the gold and the stone creates. Oh, could he kill 2 mangonels? Oh, are you kidding me? That mangonel's on 6 HP. What? 6 HP mangonel? Okay, I think it'll be finished off now. The skirmishers have been pushed all the way back. It's still alive. You could even use a few skirmishers to kill this, though. 5 HP, 4 HP. Don't tell me Dogao's gonna repair it. Dogao's gonna repair it. Unreal, man. Again, just the small things have gone better for Dogao. He's timed everything a little bit better. We saw that in the previous game, and Dogao's everywhere with knights now. He's everywhere with skirms. The mangonel is still alive. And LaaaN is losing so much control over this game. These skirmishers won't last a second. And the mangonel that LaaaN sends out will hit. It'll connect. It might even connect twice, but it won't stay alive. And this guy does not have gold anymore, guys. That had to be it right there. He does not have any more gold. And Dogao has all the gold in the center, and Dogao will build a castle here. And surely if the castle goes up, that's the game. And that would be the series as well. LaaaN could maybe use the market, could maybe consider selling his stone. But you can sell all the stone you have, then you can't build a castle yourself. And I just don't see how you could ever get to the center. Now, a lot has to be said, right? I mentioned the strength of the Chinese, and I guess we could talk about this. If the game actually ends here, we could talk about this. I said the Chinese is the best pick for this map. And when they did the Sieve draft, and when they did the map picking, they had the maps out of the way first. Dogao got the first pick. Dogao picked Mongols. And that was where LaaaN, in my opinion, should have picked Chinese if he had this as his home map. He did not do that, and then the next pick, Dogao chose Chinese, knowing it would be strong with El Dorado. Oh, God. And, oh, LaaaN, man. He had a great start with the KD earlier, but now it's not looking very good for him. I don't think that there's... I hate to be so negative, guys, but there should be no way back for LaaaN. The window is closed. Can't go imp. Can't make pikes anymore. The skirms are out. If this was game 1, then he would have called the GG, for sure. I think that because it's potentially his final game, he wants to try everything he could try. I guess the only way to get gold now is to sell and get relics, but you have no map control, so you can't get the relics. Yeah, they picked the maps first. So Dogao got the first home map pick. Then it was LaaaN, then it was Dogao, then it was LaaaN. And then Dogao got the first Sieve pick, and then it was LaaaN. And LaaaN, in my opinion, and I said it before the series started, I thought he should have chose Chinese. Chinese are just so solid. See, if he had Chinese, basically having knights and skirms is better than having pikes and skirms. Because we already saw how vulnerable pikes are versus your enemy skirmishers and versus enemy siege. And the reason he went pikes is because he's not a civilization that can really commit to knights here. Dogao has double the amount of kills, and that's only going to continue. It could be triple before you know it. And LaaaN has a battering ram inside the Siege Workshop. That's not going to save him. And let's check the eco now for Dogao. Dogao will be on 3 town centers, guys. 3 town centers. Oh my god, LaaaaaN's trying to create another Mangonel. I think it'll be canceled. He loses the Siege Workshop when it was at 95%. Oh, and now he has to build another Siege Workshop to try and make another Hero Mangonel, man. His pikemen get hit. This game is over. Dogao will make it into Hidden Cup number 2. It was a long, hard qualifier. Okay, LaaaaaN's gonna continue to try. Let's stop doing our outro here. He's probably gonna make it now. This would be the throw of the century if he were to lose this. He was away from the scene for a year. Almost, because I contacted him for the first Hidden Cup, because that one was invite only. There were no qualifiers for it. And he wasn't even at home. Micro from Dogao, and huge shot. Everything that Dogao is doing, I mean, at this point it's extremely easy, but it's been near perfect from Castle Age onwards. And I think he probably knows the game is over now. He sees the score. I mean, there's another Mangonel here, so he could, best case scenario, kill this Mango and then maybe kill the Skirms. And LaaaaaN is deleting his buildings, and he might delete every single unit. Well, he will be defeated. I'm sure Dogao is I'm sure Dogao knows what's going on. He's not gonna make my life easy, guys. I definitely understand the shorefish thing, or the fish thing was a slip up on our part. Now, would that have made a difference? It's kind of hard to say, but it did happen. And I spoke to LaaaaaN. He was very reasonable, understood our position, understood the situation, and he's dead. I think. Says he has 5 more pop. Where's his pop at? He's dead, and he calls it GG. Alright. So I won't spoil what happened yesterday. I won't spoil what happened between Jordan and between Fire. But one player moved on to play in Hidden Cup number 2. And Dogao will be our final player. So I'll go to the achievements in this one. This one was over for a long while. 127 kills for Dogao. The main difference was the gold. I think that with the additional vills he had near the end of that game, he would have had more food and wood as well. He just had control over the center of the map, which was the focus on this one. But as I come out of this, I will pull up the names that will be participating in the main event for Hidden Cup. This will be happening on April 11th through the 14th. The prize pool is over $10,000. One moment here. I just got to pull it up because God knows I'm going to make a mistake. I'll play the video as well for you, though most of you have probably already seen that. So we'll have Dogao and the player who won yesterday. I almost spoiled it, but I won't. Then we have Mr. Yo, MBL, the Viper, Leary, the Max, Hera, Nikov, Doubt, Backed, Tato, Feliz, Tim, the Fat Dragon, and ACCM. All right. So those will be our 15 of our 16 players. I just didn't want to spoil it for those that didn't see Jordan and Fire yesterday, but I'm sure you'll find out soon. So, commanding performance from Dogao. A little bit of controversy, I'll admit.